Look, earlier, we had last week, Fanatics Fest. John Cena gave us his Mount Rushmore. For you people on YouTube watching this video after, you guys will have a clip of John Cena giving his Mount Rushmore. What John Cena said his Mount Rushmore was Roman Reigns, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Rock.
This isn't just a personal grievance with the Mount Rushmore thing, because Mount Rushmore is Mount Rushmore. What I'm hearing is, who are like your top 4 or 5 people in professional wrestling? Am I hearing that correctly?
In your opinion, the 4 greatest wrestlers of all time.
Okay, I love that question. I love the phrasing of that question. This is always a great topic of conversation too, and I think this is going to spark some conversation, especially within the environment. I look at what we do and mastery of what we do and the ability to take it to larger audiences. In that respect, I would have to say Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, Dwayne Johnson, Roman Reigns. Because those are 4 names that have created such a reach beyond where they started. The business starts here. When they finish, they leave it better than they found it. Roman's still got some gas left in the tank. He's taken us to a pretty decent audience. Those are my 4. Debate amongst you if I'm correct or not. That's a great question to spark conversation throughout.
That was his 4 Mount Rushmore that he gave. He said these people have transformed the business. Core values. Let's start with you.
Okay.
Do you believe that John Cena's Mount Rushmore was accurate? And if not, what changes?
Okay, so I don't think it's accurate at all. I don't think it is. The Rock, I'm fine with. Okay, that's cool. Also, Roman being there, I feel like Roman is knocking on that door. I feel like he is knocking on that door. That Roman one, that might be the only one I might change, but I feel like it's not crazy to have him there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's not crazy for him to be like in that Mount Rushmore. Personally, I wouldn't, but I just think I feel like it's a little too early. I feel like you can easily replace him with like someone like a Hogan, obviously, like something like a HBK of some sorts. I probably say, like, that's probably the only thing I would change. Everything else about it is perfect, in my opinion. That's what I think. Cena has a solid list, but I probably just only change Roman. That's just me.
All right. Let's go ahead, Mo. What about you? Cena's Mount Rushmore being Roman Reigns, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Is it accurate, or does the GOAT not have a GOAT Mount Rushmore?
Hell no, he must go. And I'm talking about Roman Reigns. Like,
Yes.
I think we're suffering from recency bias. Yes, Roman Reigns is good. Yes, Roman Reigns is great. But is he Mount Rushmore great? No, sir, he is not. Not right now. Maybe down the line, if he continues to do great things, maybe we can talk about it. But at this moment, no. Cena is being what's the word? Cena knows he belongs on that list, and he's trying to defer and put other people. You take Roman Reigns off that list, and you put John Cena on that list, and you have a good list. So
perfect list, honestly.
Wow. So
yeah,
you're saying replace Roman Reigns with the one who put him on there, and then it'll be a lot more accurate.
Hell no. He missing the GOAT. John Cena's being. I'm also missing the word. I 110% agree with Mo. CD, I almost took a page out of Reese and started calling you names because you started saying all these other names instead of John Cena for that spot. You talked about Roman Reigns knocking on the door. I think Roman can knock all he wants. I don't think Roman is ever going to hit Mount Rushmore because at the end of the day, he just doesn't have the impact of a Hogan, and if you don't have it by this point, you don't have it. He definitely does not have the impact of a Cena. He definitely does not have the impact of a Stone Cold. And the closest one, and it's not even close in my opinion here, is probably his impact to The Rock, and it's not touching that. So it's like He can knock all he want. I don't think he's ever opening that door. I don't think we're gonna have a Mount Rushmore change for the next 20 years. I seen somebody in the comments say top 5 Roman Reigns. No, he's great, but no. Roman deserves it over those people, sure, but he does not deserve it over John Cena, the person who took us from 2006 on, honestly 2005 on, and still relevant today, over 21 years of being relevant as the top guy. Stone Cold, the guy who took over in what? I want to say, God dog, can I get on the screen, Reese? I don't know when he took over exactly, but bro had a main event with Kevin Owens and people were still popping for it. Bro made what? The most famous chant ever. He has the most sold shirt ever when he hasn't wrestled in how many years? Really? Hogan, we all know what Hogan did. Without Hogan, obviously there would have been someone else, but I'm speaking in this universe that we are currently in. Without Hogan, would there be a WWE? Maybe, maybe not. That's the question. You can ask that question because of someone like Hogan. Those 3 spots are solidified. Then you look at somebody like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and what he's done and the impact that he did. The 2011 return was freaking huge. Why? Because of the impact that he has. Bigger draw than Cena. That might be the craziest statement I read. Maybe.
I wonder who said that.
And I do disagree on him being a bigger star than Cena and The Rock. I disagree on that. I think John is I think John is the biggest star almost in WWE history next to a Hulk Hogan and The Rock. However, when it comes to a Mount Rushmore, when it comes to what a Mount Rushmore means and what John Cena was saying, I am sorry, but John is right. Halfway, right? He's a 3/4 right. I do agree with you guys. He is missing from the Mount Rushmore. However, Roman Reigns is not the one that's getting replaced. It's Hulk Hogan. Because John Cena has replaced who Hulk Hogan was and, quite frankly, did it better. And he's, quite frankly, surpassed all the expectations put on him. And when we're talking about defining stars for a generation, you have John Cena. You have Stone Cold Steve Austin, you have The Rock, and you have Roman Reigns, right? And if there's anybody who we do remove, as great as he is, and I have him number 3 all time, but I think we do remove The Rock if we do remove anybody, right? Because if I can agree with that. You're Mount Rushmore defining by each generation, then you would boo Hulk Hogan, then Stone Cold for Attitude, then John Cena for the Ruthless Aggression and PG era, and then Roman Reigns for the current era right now. So if you do remove somebody, it's those 2. And I think regardless, Roman Reigns does stay. Because Roman Reigns' impact the past decade, I'll say decade. I know we talk about 4 years. I know we talk about 5 years. But if we're being honest, the impact from the past decade, it has been Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns has redefined what it means to be a great superstar. He has been the only person to come close to a John Cena since John Cena. Cody Rhodes has tried, Cody Rhodes has failed. Seth Rollins has tried, Seth Rollins has failed.
So Roman Reigns failed.
Is that they all failed, besides Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns, and rightfully so, definitely deserves to be Mount Rushmore. And I think the people who are replaceable is not the one that you guys have touched on. Absolutely not.
You think Roman's impact to WWE is bigger than Hulk Hogan's?
No.
So why would you not have Hulk Hogan on the Mount Rushmore?
Because his impact might have not been greater than Hogan's. But he does so much better work throughout this tenure, and the impact gap is not far. It's not far enough. The gap with impact is not far enough to make up for the quality of work.
Okay.
The impact gap. I think Hogan going to WCW might be more impactful than everything that Roman's ever done.
Quality of work. It's not. That's why I don't have Hogan over John. That's why I don't have Hogan over Austin.
Agree with that.
That's why I don't have Hogan over Rock.
Agree with that.
Because the impact gap of Hogan and those guys is not great enough to the gap of work that these other guys do. These other 4 guys, Roman Reigns, John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and The Rock, their work, the actual work they do is too great to ignore. And the impact gap isn't large enough for us to say, you know what, Hogan can be over these guys.